Are you someone that has been doing a lot of ballet classes but you just can't seem to improve and you want to become a better dancer in 2026? Well, you are in luck because today I'm going to share 6 actionable tips with you that are actually going to make you improve in your ballet. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video to see all the 6 tips. So, to start us off, a lot of people seem to think that the more ballet they do, the better they're going to get. But that's not necessarily the case. It's not as black and white as that. The actual progress comes from better intention, smarter work, and better recovery. I danced professionally for over a decade and I saw the same patterns being repeated by dancers over and over again, including myself. They were working incredibly hard, but they were not necessarily seeing the results that they were expecting. And it is because those 3 things, intention, smart working, and better recovery, were simply lacking. So my first tip for all of you is to stop doing ballet mindlessly. A lot of us, regardless of our level, go into a ballet class on sort of a autopilot mode, and we don't really think about why and how necessarily we're doing a specific exercise. So in 2026, I want you to go into each class, number 1, with a purpose. So you've picked something that you really want to focus on during that class. Like I always say, of course, you're going to be thinking about other things as well because you can't isolate them. In ballet, it's simply impossible, but I want you to have one main focus. So today, for example, I really want to focus on my port de bras. I want to focus on my breath. I want to focus on my foot articulation, my pliés, my transitions, whatever that may be. And I also want you to start looking at every single exercise slowly, step by step. Don't overwhelm yourself. What is this exercise giving me? How can I take this exercise into the next steps of my ballet class? Why am I doing this movement, right? So for example, something as simple as pliés, one of the absolute foundational movements of ballet. I want you to start looking at your pliés and slowly understanding that these pliés are exactly the same ones that are going to make you jump better, push off better, land better, get into your turns better, do your transitional movements in a cleaner manner. Your tendus, another foundational movement in ballet. How every other movement that you're going to do, even when you do grand allegro and you're pushing your leg up into the air into a grand battement, and start understanding that that push, that grand battement, stems from that tendu. So I really want you to become very intentional in your ballet classes and develop the thorough understanding of why it is that we do these specific movements and how you can really work on them to make the rest of your class significantly better as well. The second thing that I want you to start implementing and understanding is that rest is not a reward. Rest is a priority. Rest is not something that you earn after you feel exhausted. Rest is a very, very significant part of any type of training, and that includes ballet. And I really want you to start understanding that resting does not make you lazy or less determined, because if you're constantly just going and doing, then eventually you will be both physically and mentally exhausted, completely flat, and therefore your nervous system in general is also going to be overloaded, and that is not how you're going to be able to make progress happen. So please, dancers, Listen to your body, allow it to rest at least 2 days a week. If you're feeling tired and you know that you should be going to a ballet class, but you know that your body simply does not want to do it today, it's not necessarily the right thing. It depends on the occasion, obviously, but it's not necessarily the right thing to push through that. So please learn to listen to your body, learn to understand your body, and let's make the year 2026, when dancers are finally going to understand that they will get better if they sleep better, if they recover better, and if their nervous system is feeling refreshed and not run down. The third thing that I would really advise you to start doing is strength training. Strength training is not the enemy of ballet. In fact, it can be one of its biggest allies. So I want you to start understanding that, yes, we're doing ballet, and yes, it trains our body, but it trains our body with just our body weight. So we don't have any extra weights added. We're doing everything with just our body weight. If you strength train, you're going to make your muscles significantly stronger for those harder movements that we need to do in ballet, when you need to hold your legs up in the air, when you need to jump. Because when you jump, you're going to be landing with a load that is much greater than your actual body weight. So our body needs to get accustomed to that. And the best way to do that is by strength training. I don't mean that you need to start doing some crazy bodybuilding programs. No, that's not what ballet dancers do. We need to have strong calves, strong ankles, strong quads, strong knees, hamstrings, glutes, lats, the whole shebang. And the best way to train that is with an extra load in the gym. And there are so many people out there right now that are able to provide dancers with ballet-specific strengthening workouts. So like I said, don't go and pick up a random bodybuilder's program from somewhere, because that's not what we need to do with you. Your goal is not to grow as much muscle as possible. Our goals are different. Our goals are just to strengthen under a load the main muscle groups that are being used in ballet. So go and find those people who are able to provide you with ballet-specific strengthening programs and start doing those programs a few times a week. Also, not neglecting your cardiovascular work, because that is also crucial for ballet, because we need to have the stamina, right? So we are athletes. All the other athletes train this way. There is no reason as to why we should be training in a different manner and not do that extra work. So 2026, let it be the year that you discover the importance and the benefits of strength training as a ballet dancer. The fourth thing that you should definitely start doing is watching how professional dancers do class and how they perform on stage. And I want you to remember that passive watching is entertainment, but active watching is education. So you have everything in your hands right now. YouTube is full of this stuff. All the World Ballet Day classes from all the biggest companies in the world, individual dancers posting classes. You have everything, yeah? Take advantage of all of that online and use it to your advantage. Watch how dancers play around with the musicality. Watch how they're executing their transitions. Watch how everything is so calm and collected and it's not rushed. Listen to the ballet masters giving the dancers corrections. Trust me, it's going to benefit you enormously. Now, tip number 5, the fifth thing that you should start doing in 2026 is building tiny micro habits. So you don't need crazy, excessive post-ballet or pre-ballet routines on a daily basis. We understand as well that a lot of people are very busy working individuals with families, and you simply don't have enough time for that. And that's completely fine and completely understandable. There are small things that you can do on a daily basis that are going to compound over time. So for example, doing just 5 minutes of foot articulation exercises. It can be even when you're watching TV, it can be while you're waiting for your food to cook. 5 minutes of core exercises in the same manner, or 5 to 10 minutes of mobility drills or balancing drills. These are the things that you can do while you're also doing something else, yeah? And like I said, I want you to remember that there is no need for crazy, excessive routines, because the small habits are much more sustainable. And we always want to find things that are sustainable. You know, when we write out our New Year's resolutions, it's always the massive goals. I'm going to now start running 7 days a week, and I'm going to be weightlifting 6 days a week. And these things are not sustainable. You're going to be able to do them for a really short period of time, and then you're just going to feel overwhelmed. And it's like, I never wrote that New Year's resolution to start with. So pick the habits that are sustainable, always. And the last one, tip number 6. Start learning just a little bit of anatomy. Now, I know it sounds overwhelming. You don't need to become a doctor or a physiotherapist. That's not the point. But small things like understanding where turnout comes from. What muscles am I using when I'm lifting my leg to the back? What muscles am I using when I'm lifting my leg to the front, to the side, into a retire? What muscles are being used when I plie? All of those things are going to make a massive difference, because it's not then somebody else just barking some corrections at you and they seem confusing, so they kind of go in from one ear and out of the other, but because you actually have a little bit of an anatomical understanding, it's going to make way more sense to you. And again, you don't even need to have some kind of book and open that book and start learning like everything from the book. There's videos now. So find maybe, again, dance specific physiotherapists talking about what muscles are being used during what movements. And it doesn't need to be this big, grand, overwhelming thing. Just step by step, you know, each week, maybe I learn about one thing. Maybe I watch one 5 to 10 minute video. That is it. Trust me, when you understand how the body works, what you do in class also is going to make way more sense. So, conclusion. If you want to be a better dancer in 2026, start thinking less about doing more and start thinking more about doing perhaps a little bit less, but with good and clear intention. So, good intention, good recovery, and training smarter. That is how you're going to get stronger in 2026. And if you want a little bit of extra support with that, then sign up for my newsletter called Letters From Christina, because if you do that, you get 14 days worth of tips on how to improve your ballet technique and your ballet mindset, completely for free, by the way. So if you're interested, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below so you can sign up anytime you want to. Let's make 2026 the year where all of you are going to become the best versions of yourself, the best dancers that you can be. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel as well, and turn on the notification bell to make sure that you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great end to 2025, and I'll see you in 2026.